but the flexibility shown by various stakeholders allowed us to overcome them. Members would recall the predicament of two crews who were in particular difficulty outside Chinese ports. Their predicament too was eventually resolved through greater perseverance. We continue to interact with many governments to devise more friendly SOPs for crew change requirements. Our fishermen have also been affected by the difficulties arising from the pandemic. We saw in particular serious problems faced by those who are working out of Iran. Some Gulf nations also witnessed this, perhaps to a lesser degree. Many members have expressed their anxieties on this point. Here too, the repatriation phase is over and the re-employment one has just started. Honorable Chairman, sir, in conclusion, let me underline that from the very beginning, the Modi government has been deeply committed to the welfare and protection of Indians abroad. And equally, we value and nurture our relationship with PIOs. The COVID pandemic was a test of our commitment on this matter, as on so many others. And whether it was a problem of the worker or the student, the professional or the tourist, we have risen to the occasion. A huge collective effort by nameless and faceless individuals from our embassies and other organizations in India and abroad made that possible. Like the nation at home, they too were inspired by the leadership and vision of the Prime Minister. I wish to assure this august House that in the days ahead, as our quest for normalcy progresses, as the global marketplace and workplace resume activities, as centers of study reopen their doors, we will be there to encourage, facilitate, secure, and support. Thank you.
Thank you. Clarification. Manya Trichu Siwari.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, sir. Sir, first of all, I extend my appreciations and congratulations to the Minister who has helped to all our requests during the pandemic to help the NRIs who are abroad. And it should be mentioned here, sir, that many were evacuated even at that crucial situation, students as well as workers there, and it was a very immediate response that the Minister responded just through an email or a WhatsApp message. And sir, what I appreciate all the statement he has made now. And my simple query is, many have decided to stay here, not to go back. Does the government have any plans? What are the measures you are going to take to keep them here? Because many have given up their jobs and have come here and they are now living without any source of livelihood. So apart from those who want to go back, and your steps by way of interacting with those governments, I would like to know, because many have represented to me that they have come back and settled here, and what the government has for their future. If the Minister could explain about that, I would be thankful.
Thank you. Manya Anand.
Sir, I also fully endorse what he has said. And going through the statement of the External Affairs Minister, and many of us who have during the period of lockdown and when there were curbs globally, personally experienced how this national effort was made involving the Ministry of External Affairs, for that matter, the various other departments of the government, civil aviation, and also our missions abroad. And it would be in order, therefore, for us to place on record our deep appreciation, both for our officers in the Ministry of External Affairs, the Minister himself, and our missions abroad. They have been very receptive, very helpful in bringing back thousands of stranded Indians. There were many occasions when I personally reached out, when parents contacted us, in many cases the stranded students or the other citizens, and there was prompt response. I have personal experience of having helped through the government hundreds and hundreds of students and others during this critical period. The issues are, and Honorable Minister has referred to that though, one is about our workers in the Gulf, in the Middle East, who have come back. Yes, the economies have been disrupted, both the social and economic. It has impacted, not only here but worldwide. Now, that has also affected our inward remittances because they lost their jobs, they could not send money, and they have come back. It has also affected a large number of families, as the Minister is aware, and you have alluded to that. Those who are returning, it will take time for normalcy to return and for them to get the same employment opportunities which existed prior to the pandemic. Many may not be able to go back even this year because of lack of opportunity. What will be done for them is the Government of India, along with the state governments, as you have said, you're talking to the governments of those countries, but within our country, a large number of workers go, for example, from Kerala or southern states, and also some states in the north, Haryana and others. What is being done for that? Secondly, about the students. They've lost 1 year. And parents had paid the fee, but nobody can be blamed for that situation. As normalcy returns, will there be a special cell monitoring the students' case so that they can go back to the universities and complete their education?
Thank you. Manya Praful Patel.
We all compliment the overall efforts the government and all stakeholders have put in to bring our stranded fellow Indians back from most of the countries where they were residing, and especially the Gulf areas where the Honorable Minister has read in his statement. While things are getting back to normal, a lot of issues still need to be addressed. As he has pointed out, that air bubble arrangements are there with 27 countries. I think we need to do a little bit more, especially east of India. I think we are having very few arrangements with the countries. So for a lot of people who are the Western world or the Gulf areas, things are okay, but or getting better, but at least on the eastern front, that is a problem. The second thing I would like to request the Minister, as businesses are coming back to normalcy within our country at least, a lot of business travel, especially for technical and trained people from overseas to come to India to help, some industries are being set up, some there are different exchange of technical information. For that, physical presence of people in India is also required. I think we should try to be a little bit more understanding for the needs of local industry. If somebody has to, some technical people or others have to come from overseas, our regulation should be slightly flexible to make it a little, easier for businesses to come back to normal.
Thank you. माननीय Professor Manoj Jha ji.
Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir, I join my colleagues in complimenting Honorable Minister, sir, for making it very smooth. However, I think, and he is aware, that there were certain countries from where there were issues which was difficult to handle. But particularly, I'm aware of Bihari students, medical students in Russia. I mean, a pocket. That is number one. Number two, in Gulf and Middle East countries, large number of people from Bihar and Eastern UP, they are there and they have come back, and probably forever. I know it is not in your personal domain, sir, but right behind you is Honorable Finance Minister. Please make sure that the workers who have come back from Gulf and Middle Eastern countries, they are accommodated and provided security as per the norms. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Professor Manoj Jha ji. माननीय नरेश गुजराल जी.
So first of all, I'd like to compliment the government, the Honorable Minister, and all the officers who went out of their way to help fellow Indians during this pandemic. On a couple of occasions, I reached out to the Foreign Minister's office and I got immediate response from them. Sir, my one question is that many of our fellow Indians lost their lives abroad. And in many cases, their accounts abroad still have to be settled by their employers. Would the minister ensure that help desks are set up in the embassies so that families here who are stuck, who need to get that money back from the employers of their deceased relatives, receive immediate help? And also, if the telephone numbers of these help desks are publicized through TV and the media. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Honorable Mr. 1 minute, 1 minute, please. माननीय लोपी.
Just I want to seek one clarification regarding the Pravas Bharatiya Bima Yojana, which is meant for, it is an insurance scheme meant for people who are working abroad. So, government's own reply in Lok Sabha shows that the number of beneficiaries covered, amount claims settled, as well as the number of claims settled has all gone down consistently since 2014 and 15. The number of claims settled per year has gone down from 336 in 2014-15 to just 41. Here, the statement, all right, okay, whatever good work is done, we have to appreciate, there is no doubt about that. But in the answer to the start question. The claims, nearly 336 people have claimed. Out of them, only 41 cases were settled. It means the government is not working properly on this scheme. And the amount claims settled per year has also gone down from 20 crores 55 lakhs 14-15. Now it has come only 3 crores 72 lakhs. It means that how this Pravasi Bharati Yojana is implemented and how many people got benefit. And this is very unfortunate. One side we announce, other side we don't implement properly. But still we get praise for all the works.
Thank you.
That's why I want to ask how much money you have kept and how much money you have spent these schemes.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, sir. So, first of all, through you, I want to say that I appreciate all the positive sentiments that members have expressed. So, if I were to take the common issues, because that makes many of them raised very similar issues. I think the first issue is of workers, our workers abroad, especially in the Gulf. Now, our main endeavor is to get them back. And if I were to say what is today the focus of our engagement with the Gulf, it is to see, because they also will prioritize, in terms of their recovery. As you know, they take expatriates from many countries. So sometimes it's a question of whether they lean a little bit more towards us or not. So if we are able, our expectation is that as their recovery picks up, if we are able to get our workers back there on a priority, that I think is the biggest service that we can do there. Now, having recognized that, I would also say, yes, there will be situations where people either will not go back or will have delays in going back. So I think honorable members are very reasonably asking what happens to those people. Now, we have tried from the very beginning, we started actually a skills mapping program. So that especially for workers coming back from the Gulf, they were giving us data so that there is data available here, which we have then sent out to state governments about what are the skills of people who are returning. So to some extent, our expectation is that state governments and employers will use the data that we have provided through this. It's called Swadesh, the mapping scheme, so that they have a sense of the skills which are available. Now, in terms of what are the employment opportunities for these people at home, I think Shri Manoj Jha ji very rightly pointed to Finance Minister sitting behind me, because I think from the budget that she has presented, it is very clear there's going to be a very strong recovery, and high growth will mean good employment prospects. So I think many of their prospects will come out of economic development at home. The second issue was students. I think there's a big challenge there. There's a big challenge there because in many cases, some universities have permitted them to return. In many cases, they are keeping them online. Now, our endeavor in every case has been to ensure that they don't lose a year. So I think many of the concerns which Anand Sharma ji expressed, for example, are very valid. That, how do you make sure that they don't lose an academic year? We are not only trying to make sure they don't lose a year, we are actually trying to make sure they can get back as soon as possible. Obviously, in some countries it is easier, in some countries it is harder. On the issue of the bubble, can we do more bubbles? Absolutely. We are talking to everybody. In fact, today our priorities for bubble would be one, Saudi Arabia and Kuwait in the west, Japan, China, Singapore in the east, because this is really where these are countries where bubbles have so far not really worked so well. Again, we are very cognizant of it. We will keep extending bubbles as we go along. Insofar as the issue of the Pravasi Bharat Bima Yojana is concerned, I think Leader of Opposition has brought up an issue. I'll be very happy to look into the claims, but I don't think it's an issue of what were the claims before and what are the claims that are settled. I think the issue would be what are the claims raised and what were the percentage of that settled. I'll be very happy to look into that and give him a detailed reply. I don't have the exact numbers with me right now, and I would not obviously like to convey anything inaccurate to the House.
Thank you. Bill for introduction, the Insurance Amendment Bill 2021, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman to move for leave to introduce the Insurance Amendment Bill 2021.
Thank you, sir. I rise to move for leave to introduce a bill further to amend the Insurance Act 1938.
The question is that leave be granted to introduce the bill. Those in favor will please say aye. Those against will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. I introduce the bill.
I introduce the bill, sir.
Thank you. The National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2019. Sri Narendra Singh Tomar to move a motion for consideration of the National Institutes of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2019. माननीय मंत्री।
माननीय उपसभापति महोदय, मैं प्रस्ताव करता हूं राष्ट्रीय खाद्य प्रौद्योगिकी उद्यमिता और प्रबंधन संस्थान विधेयक 2019 पर विचार किया जाए।
माननीय ऑनरेबल डॉक्टर एल हनुमंतैया जी।
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chairman, sir. The National Institute of Food Technology, Entrepreneurship and Management Bill 2019. The stated objective of the bill is to confer status of the national importance to two institutes which are working in the country. One is at Haryana, Kundli, and the other one is at Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Sir, the above institutes are presently administered by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries under the Societies Registration Act 1960. So provide additional autonomy and flexibility, the bill aims to provide functional autonomy to these two institutes to design and develop courses, undertake research, and achieve enhanced status in their academic pursuits to emerge as pioneers at the global level. Sir, these new institutes will be the non-profit legal entities. Number one. Number two, implement reservation policy as per Central Education Institutions Act 2006. And the bill establishes Board of Governors, Senate for each institution, Central Council to oversee the performance of the institute, and a council headed by the Food Processing Industries Minister. Sir, the Government of India will finance every year, determined by the Government of India, and it will be passed by the Parliament, and the accounts are audited by the CAG. It is a good step which was taken now. Sir, this NIFTM 2019 bill, India is a major producer of agriculture and food items in the world. Third largest producer of agricultural products, which includes pulses, milk, tea, spices. First is China, second is USA. The food production depends on agroclimatic conditions of any country. India needs developed, skilled, technical manpower for achieving the real targets. So the Government of India targets 3% international food trade as against 1.5% now. So only 10% of the food is processed in India now. Sir, opportunities are great. Demand for processed food in India and abroad is increasing now and the future days also. Sir, the NIFTM 2019 bill introduced in Rajya Sabha on 13/1/2019 by the then Minister Srimati Harsimrat Kaur Badal and referred to Standing Committee on 22/2019. Sir, the Standing Committee elaborately discussed with stakeholders, and lot of new things have been introduced in the bill. So, introduction of the bill, the lower the wastage of food in the country, which is a serious concern. Sir, according to UN's Food and Agriculture Organization study, about 40% of the food is either wasted or lost in the country, which is a very serious concern. Second, it is valued about $14 billion. The waste food in the country is about $14 billion. It is one of the estimates. So, India ranks 94 of 107 countries. Every third child is malnourished in the country, which is also a serious concern. So, one side we are wasting about 40% food. The other side, the deprived children are in a big number who are malnourished in the country. country, which is a very serious concern to us. Sir, there is a demand in this industry to create alternative employment. Sir, the study says there is a demand for 1 lakh as against 10,000 skilled people available in the country. See, 1% growth in the food processing industry will generate 5 lakh direct employment and 15 lakh indirect employment. This is the study again. So there is a great demand for skilled professionals for food collection, food processing, cold chain management, etc. So strengthen the domestic supply chain is the concern of the day, which is in high level demand. So food processing industry has got a big challenge and a big scope also. Sir, corporate data analysis says food processing firms are profitable, but the value addition component needs to increase significantly in the country. Sir, India had made vast progress over the time providing food security for its people, though it is a big number, about 130 crore, by bringing Food Security Act, and we are growing the food products in the whole world. We are number one in many areas. Sir, food processing industry is one area which has the potential to add value addition to farm products. Sir, about 11.2% of total arable land, 11.2% total arable land in the world is ranked in our country as number one in production of milk, pulses, and jute. Sir, we are number 2 in fruits and vegetables. We are number 3 in cereals, but as per the Government of India 2019 study. So India is 6th largest food and grocery market in the world. So as per available data of 17-18, we are having a large scope of food processing industry in the country. Sir, as per the 17-18 study, food processing industry accounted for 7.9% as against 9.5% in agriculture if agriculture value is added. So a major employment provider is agriculture, which is 11.4% of the organizational manufacturing employment. Sir, food processing in the world and India comparably is a shocking news also. Sir, there are countries, particularly China, their food processing capacity is 30%. Western countries, it is 60 to 80% food processing is being done. And particularly in USA, 65% of the fruits and vegetables are processed. So overall processing of the agriculture produce in many countries are 70%, 23% in China, 30% in Thailand, 78% in Brazil, 80% in Malaysia, etc. But we in India, we are fruits and vegetables, we are processing only 2.2%, sir. This, I think we have to take note of this. And we are biggest processed milk products, milk and milk products, it is about 35% in the country. And 21% for meat we are processing, and 6% in poultry products. This is the status of Indian food processing system. Sir, food processing in India is in the nascent stage. Less than 10% of the total food in India is processed as per 2016 government study. So we have to take it up very seriously. Food processing in India has lot of scope and we have to take it up. Sir, less than 10% of the processed in India and traded. So in India, we have to gear up by inverting necessary infrastructure, which is very, very important. Requires steady flow of raw materials from the farmers, meeting specific quality standards at stable prices. So ensuring steady flow of income to farmers can reduce wastage, particularly in perishable items. Sir, the institute should be encouraged to build bridge with industry, with farmers, farmer producers,